Jacob, Tony Juniper, nice to meet you.
Hi, Bjørn Lomborg.
Hello.
To meet you.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Wonderful.
Wow.
A mini Hummer.
So,
yeah. Did you have to go for the Hummer design? I don't know.
Well, it's to show all the range,
exactly.
I guess.
Yeah, there's a certain irony there, isn't there?
Yeah. I thought so.
Yeah. So these two vehicles are both electric, all three of them.
Tony, you're going to be driving this simply because I have the cold.
okay, I'll have a go in there, I don't mind. I can zip up. It's got a special warm thing there.
Yeah, and this is the little microphone. But so this is the Hummer. It's a Chinese reproduction of the original, the big one.
Yep.
And this is the over here.
You say Chinese?
Yeah, of course.
Chinese, is it? Yeah.
You're getting worried now?
No. I'm all for technology coming from everywhere, but it's interesting the Chinese are making stuff like this.
They got a patent, or they got a license to do it, basically.
They often don't bother with that, but they did that.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised about the license
exactly.
part.
Sure. Yeah. And then there is the scooter, right. And the Norwegian Buddy, and it's basically has been the only car in Copenhagen for a long time that you can get.
Which one do you prefer?
The scooter.
The scooter?
Yeah,
cool.
It's my scooter actually.
Yeah. Do you surprise people because it has no sound, I'm assuming?
Oh well, yeah. I'm doing this as part of an art piece called the CO2 E-Race. It's kind of a awareness project of tagging cities with using the cars as paintbrushes and GPS as paint, and then going into cities and having them drive in a path making CO2. Part of that is also to make sound, and then the cars, of course, don't make any sound. So the idea is to have also commission artists, sound artists, who do sound for the cars.
Cool. Yeah. A couple of weeks ago, I test drove this new Mitsubishi. What do they call it? Mitsubishi Innovative Electric Vehicle, MIEV. It's four-seater.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. Really comfortable inside. The only trouble
it had an inside?
Oh yeah, an inside, exactly. This is an innovation that would appeal to quite a lot of people, is it had an inside. Well, I put the dog in the back, it had plenty of room for the dog, and but of course the battery, the range, 80 miles that one, more or less. And so, but if you're a two-car family and you have an electric one and then a very efficient diesel, you can really slash your emissions and still have all the mobility you had before.
Yeah.
So, the electric one for taking the kids to school, going to the shops, the diesel one for going on holiday or longer journeys at weekends.
But the problem is really the cost, right? You also mentioned that that this Mitsubishi was what, 17,000?
17,000 for the new Mitsubishi. They've not put a price on it yet, but they're going to bring them out in the UK market in November. So just before Copenhagen, these things will be on the streets.
How much are these?
This is about 110,000 Danish.
With registration?
Yeah, I think
so.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, that's actually... See, you think that's expensive, and it is in all other markets, but it's actually cheap in Denmark.
Should we ever go in one?
I think you should. This one is rigged up for you.
Come on, Bjorn. You have to put up with the cold.
This kind of Star Wars landscape here is...
we don't have to spell out a CO2, do we?
Not this time around.
Okay, good.
If you sit in...
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I feel more comfortable with you driving.
Okay,
I'm a terrible driver.
Okay, great.
I do it so well.
Right, here we go. Putting a bit of... Can we take it to the beach?
Go ahead.
Yeah?
Wow.
This is a bit odd, really.
It has this slightly toy feel to it.
It does. I can imagine teenagers liking this on a beach.
Is this where I put on my GPS? And we just go.
I think you need a life belt now, actually, not GPS.
This is cool.
Yeah, I guess this is the future, isn't it? Electric vehicles. I think everyone's...
I cannot possibly imagine that we're not going to go there eventually.
Yeah. Right, let's have a changeover. There we are. So it doesn't have a handbrake by the looks of it. Let's have a go.
And they know what all these other things do?
Yeah, I think it's just really that's the only thing you need to worry about. So imagine in 20 years' time there'll be electrical charging posts in car parks like this where people can come to the beach and they can plug their car in while they're on the beach and they'll come back and have their charged batteries, or in supermarkets or at schools.
Well,
all this is coming.
And imagine in 40 or 50 years, you don't actually need to charge them. You can really just charge them at home.
Yeah, and then it'll do you for a week or whatever.
Yeah.
In the short term, getting these things into the market is a very sensible thing for policymakers to do, isn't it? Especially if you can start building the infrastructure around them.
But we probably, again, come into that a little bit, that discussion of saying, when exactly is the right time?
When the right time to do it.
If you look at the computers back in the 50s.
Size of a house.
Yeah, I mean, the point is, would have been the right discussion to say, let's get everybody a computer in the 1960s. Yeah, sure, it would have spurred up innovation and stuff, but it probably would have been the wrong time to get the computer in there.
Indeed.
So it is a timing question of saying, this could very well be the future. The question is exactly, is it 5 years or 15 years from now?
Indeed, and also how you build the market, because there are things now I think you could do quite quickly where you could be designing this around, a wider transport strategy. So not saying everyone's got to go electric immediately, but, for some uses you could have, quite a lot of growth around, for example, families with 2 cars already.
But the other good thing is the combination with the windmills and making the cars into batteries that are storing, so they connected to the power grid. They become part of the solution in the grid as well.
Because they could actually be picking up some of the current that we are right now selling incredibly cheaply to Sweden or Norway.
Well, exactly, and the synergy there with generating wind is at night when people are mostly asleep and the lights are turned off. That's the perfect time to be taking all that power and sticking it into batteries.
And that's really the magic. I mean, really, that's where it really works.
Should we ever go in that one? Should we try that one, the Norwegian one?
I'm up for it.
Let's have a quick go in there, shall we? That's it. And,
I want it to say vroom.
Yeah, that's the thing with these. It doesn't do any vroom.
Wow, we couldn't actually get the keys out. But
anyway, that's a very nice little car.
It is.
What's the range of that one, do you think, if you drive it carefully? What would you get, 60 miles? Or?
Something like that.
Yeah,
so
what?
But it's very much with this is that it's also how you drive it.
Of course, I noticed this when I drove one recently, and you can really deplete the battery very quickly if you drive fast and lots of acceleration. But also the lights and the CD player and the heater and all these things, don't they? They kind of take your power as well.
Sure.
Okay, let's go.
We'll be heading out. It was great meeting you.
Lovely to see you.
Yes.
Thanks very much for the demonstration. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
And
see you next time.
I'll be driving because
you drive,
it's
you
the
drive
right-hand side.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's prudent.
Yes.
That's it. There we go.
It is kind of funny.
Into the night in this rather odd vehicle.
I know.
So this is the mountain dwelling, as they call this, because it's got this layers going up apparently, and